you know, I went, okay, let's do surgery. Oh no, it's too late for surgery. It's too late for surgery. Chemo, radiation, that's all we can offer you. It might not even work. This is palliative care. This is end of life. I was diagnosed with secondary cancer, stage 4, in March 2020. My first diagnosis was 2018. I knew that every event in my life had brought me to this point because I knew how to heal. And I did 2 years of really intensive healings. And I got complacent, and, you know, it came back. Yeah, it was growing, I was getting pain, and because of the pain, they said, we're gonna try for surgery for you. We're gonna try surgery, we're gonna see if we can remove the cancer, but it spread. It was in my ovaries, it was in my womb, and they were suspecting maybe the bowel and the ligaments of the womb, and they were like, we're gonna take your lymph, we're gonna take all these bits of you out. My dad passed away after having chemotherapy. So that was my story, was chemotherapy was what, you know, killed my dad. And I realised with this stage 4, and it was very fast growing, my fear was allopathic medicine. You know, I'd used herbs, homeopathy, food my whole life. And I had to transmute that story, I had to change that story. I'd been saying that for 15 years. You know, my dad wouldn't have died if he hadn't had the chemotherapy. If he'd done natural healing, he'd still be alive. I had already been using Dr. Joe's meditations. He is mentioned a lot on cancer forums. Everyone is like, you know, meditation, Dr. Joe. So I was listening to Dr. Joe every morning. You know, when you get a diagnosis like that, you wake up and it's almost the first thing that comes into your head, and I didn't want that to be the first thing that came to my head, so I would just get my iPod, put my earplugs in as soon as I opened my eyes, and I would sit up and I would listen to my meditations. I changed that story around belief of medical system, the allopathic systems, and, you know, using it in combination with other modalities. And this was all during COVID times, so the world was crazy. Everything that got booked in was delayed. And every time it got delayed, I went, yes, more time to heal, more time to do my meditation, more time to listen to my body, more time to just, you know, be. Because that's what I hadn't stopped before, I'd kept doing. So yeah, it was like, stop work, sell your business, focus on you. I have to be number one. And I'm going to make this an adventure, and I'm going to bring joy and happiness into my life where I hadn't before. So yeah, it was just every single day was an opportunity to open, to heal more, to be in joy. I said yes to everything. If I got invited somewhere, I was going. If I was going for runs, I was, you know, being in nature, doing everything I could to bring the joy in. I was doing the Coherence music on my rebounder, listening to this uplifting music, just like in bliss. And when you're in bliss, healing and death and life doesn't exist anymore. And I think that's when the magic happens. When you're in that state, that's when the magic comes in. I go for my surgery. You know, the doctors are like, "You sure you're okay? You sure you're okay?" Because I'm in this state of bliss. I'm listening to Dr. Joe all the time, and I'm in this complete surrender and bliss, and they're worried that I'm not stressed, and they're worried that I'm not worried. I applied for the Coherence healing, and I had that from Marco Island in January 2021. That blew me away. I had friends sending me Reiki, praying for me, giving me healing, but that healing, my heart just was wide open, and I was sobbing all the way through it, because the thought of complete strangers across the world sending me healing who didn't even know me, that I was worthy of that I deserved that I could be open to that. And there was something in the introduction that Dr. Joe said on that healing was, where are you putting your energy where you could be using it to heal yourself? And that was like a light bulb moment, because I was really good at putting my energy everywhere and helping other people and wasting my time on Facebook, all the stuff that everyone does, getting caught up in the drama. I don't do that anymore. That's not me anymore. I had a scan after the Coherence healing. I got a phone call from the doctors, and they're going, oh, we're phoning to book you in for your radiotherapy. And I said, hang on a minute, hang on. What was the scan results? Oh, all clear. So this is after being told that this is palliative care, this probably isn't going to work, the cancer spread too far. So I said, great, so let me just double check. You just said I got the all clear, yes. Okay, I'm done. And I put the phone down, and I knew that I had jumped onto this timeline of radiance and vibrancy, and that was it. I was done. I was done. I was on this new timeline, and this was the story. And I remember doing the walking meditations, visualizing your future self, and I kept seeing my future self, sometimes at this event, sharing my story, but also I'd see myself running. And I was always the fat kid at school that didn't exercise and didn't do any of that. And I started running last November, and I love running, and it brings me joy, and I listen to the uplifting music, and I'm in awe of the world. And that's not the person that I was 2 years ago. And that's the work of Dr. Joe. That's what he's taught me, is you have to change who you are if you want to get well. And these days, when I get lots of people coming to me, how did you heal? And I say, joy. Joy is what healed me. So that's my story.